Hi everybody. Well, welcome to Materia D&D, where we play D&D our way, and we are picking up with the Crass Menagerie story at um, session 170. Uh, Last session, definitely not what my players expected, which was always fun. They had successfully teleported themselves and the entire expedition crew over at the jungle ruins into Whitlaw, to the Court of Stars, where their lizard folk friends live in hiding. Uh, there, the Crass Menagerie ran into a few of the lizard folk, as well as some of Afuma's unveilers. Gloom sent word that you guys had arrived, and it would take some time to go through the alleys and streets to reach. But that being said, you went into the new lizard folk encampment and took some time to rest and kill some time, where you became alarmed and alert to a pounding, a thudding, a rhythmic beat kind of sound. Very difficult to make out what it was initially. There may have been a fear that the lizard folk were getting raided once again. However, it played out and it was clear that it was more like a festive environment or celebration was going up above. Cielo went to scout it out, and through the field trails, cutting from the central trade district, the pedal district, all the way out east through the kneeling district to where the field crops are. A parade was marching, and this parade was made up of uh, talent and individuals from Whitlaw and the surrounding areas, as well as visiting uh, people of importance. Later, it was uh, pieced together that these were individuals from the Cerulean kingdoms, a island-based nation far off to the southeast of the continent of Rune. They were here to, well, most likely to keep relationships strong, make trade, and for diplomatic reasons, but we're yet to uncover what the actual motivations of this was. The Crass Menagerie used Rock's ability to cast Seeming on themselves and everyone involved, making them look as if they were festival goers and entertainers and intended to be part of the parade. They managed to deceive their way into the parade, marching the entire way, dancing, singing, having fun. Crass Menagerie were surprised at how much energy and energy and how lively the heralds could actually be. Heralds of exploration could be, uh, given that they are typically archaeologists and crypt divers and treasure seekers and stuff. But they did make it all the way out the eastern gate through the field trails and then ended up in a cleared area that had been set up to be like a festival grounds, a tournament grounds, a competitive grounds, just a makeshift little town. Here, banners, most notably amongst them were was the gold flower on the green field, representing Cled and the verdant cause. But there were also the visiting banners. One was a white background with a figure eight knot. Another one was a dark background with a cresting blue wave. And the final one was a tentacle emerging from some water, grasping a trident on a white field. Um, the Crass Menagerie continued their charade, and then listened to some delegates from the Cerulean Kingdoms address the crowd, as well as members of the Sovereign Council of Whitlaw also addressing. And this was perhaps, for the majority, if not all of the Crass Menagerie, the first time that they laid eyes on the Sovereign of Exchanges, Magiento Luster. where for those of you that have followed our story, know that the Crass Menagerie has a uh, tenuous history with this individual that they have never met or interacted with face to face, but his choices and decisions have caused irreparable damage and left scars on the story. Uh, so we will see what the Crass Manager decides to do. Um, Political addresses being made, the delegates retreated. Uh, Still in disguise, Davis managed to get Ofuma's attention, and they discussed. Um, and Ofuma instructed uh, Davis to get everyone on the western gate, taking the North Mason Fair Byway, by sundown tomorrow, so that it looks as if it is a natural, um, though early, but natural arrival from the dig sites to not raise suspicion. And we'll see what happens from there. The only other point of note and reference was that Allegretto made a complete and utter fool of himself over Gothic, a very thick, beautiful, uh, four-horned uh, tiefling artist, question mark, that was sitting under the midday moon, apparently. So with that, festivals going around, Rock trying to get himself drunk alone, but Hugh Lamb stepping in and giving him his medallion of the drunkard, telling him it's never worth drinking alone, that things will be okay. Uh, we kind of pick up loosely wherever my players wish to pick up. We can pick up immediately, still in the fairs, or y'all have already gathered with the heralds and are wishing to, plot your way around the large metropolis. Whatever. I don't know if you guys have discussed over the break, over the week break, but by all means, that's where we are. You guys kind of let me know where we're dropping in, and we'll pick up from there. Also, hi chat. Thanks for being active.
Yay.
Yeah.
If I take the medallion off, do I get drunk again, like instantly, or am I cured?
Do you take it off?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So you take it off, and it seems like it has the neutrifying effect. Actually, just dissipates the alcohol from your system, so you don't just get drunk again. It seems to just like get rid of it.
Yeah, I can't drink anymore then. Okay, I'll put it back on.
Sorry, you can't drink yourself to like almost being dead and then just put it on and just keep,
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, I put it back on and we'll just walk with the group.
Yeah.
A little sullen because trying to not be, but
no one really recognizes your sullenness other than your body posture, just because everyone's dressed up in seeming
and I have a
bright
mask on, so you can't
colors
see my
and
face.
masks, and yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
so
though
yeah.
the design choice that Rock went with, though being flamboyant and colorful and elaborate, does make it where you guys are all different. There's that common thread amongst you, so it's very easy to spot out the 30 or so people that would make up your entire company. Um, so just let me know what you guys want to do.
So when I was talking to Ofuma, Al was making his move. I think some of
Mm-hmm.
the others were definitely engaged with that, or like watching. I don't remember.
Cielo and Ben was trying to understand what was going on.
Oh, that's right. He was
Yep.
like, "This is a mating ritual,"
Mm.
and then Rock's drinking, and then Carlos was what was
And
Carlos
Ben
doing?
Ben also offered to go get her name because he doesn't understand the nuances of that.
Right.
Get rid of this because that's super old. Yeah, so like everyone's just over here essentially. Uh, Not that it actually matters, but here we go. Boop, 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 boop. It's just a jam-cracked party. So yeah, what do you guys? What is the next thing you guys wish to do or tackle or? add to the story.
And so at this point, I think we figured kind of early to mid afternoon.
Yeah, it would be early afternoon. The sun is up.
The midday
There
sun, the
are
midday moon. That's right.
yeah, with the midday moon, yeah. Um, there there are there is cloud cover, so it is making it fairly pleasant out. White puffy kind of clouds all about. Uh, though the sky is blue, the fields are green. There is, of course, just from all the foot traffic and just setting up, I guess you would say not making, but like setting up this temporary township outside and festival grounds, there is that amount of like dirt and mud that has been kind of kicked up. But essentially, yeah, it's nice out, good day. Um, you have more than 24 hours needed to get on the other side of the metropolis before making check-in.
I guess we'd probably just wait. I mean, I don't have anything until the evening if we want to like make camp somewhere. But if others guys have, that's fine.
Again, I don't know if you guys trying to just keep the festival charade going on. Are you guys trying to march out? There's a whole bunch of stuff. Try not to decide what you guys do.
Did we decide where we're gonna meet up outside of the festival area so we can, are we all coming in at the same time as the Crash Menagerie? Are we trickling in?
Well, I haven't told you
I,
guys yet what Ofuma
yeah,
told us.
Okay. So I guess Ben's just gonna be kind of admiring or investigating this human or this other than gift mating rituals.
sure.
I guess I'd go
I
around.
think
Go ahead.
I think I would be after our like last talks that I was kind of involved in as we faded out last session.
Hmm.
I think going into the night, I think I would just be joining in the merriment. I don't know if I would be drinking, but like I don't
Okay.
know. Anybody doing like their practice rendition of like party tricks, like juggling and stuff like that, I'd be like stealing one of their juggling pins and then like throwing it back at them. Just
Yeah,
doing
I mean,
stupid shit like
Mischief.
that. Yeah.
doing just general mischief. Okay. So yeah, it depends on how long you guys wish to stay, right? That's what I'm trying to get at and understand, like a group consensus, what you guys are doing. Because there's absolutely nothing that's going to drive you out of the festival grounds other than yourselves or possibly seeming fading. You have an 8-hour time span on it. So, um, because it wasn't very clear what you guys wanted to do, you guys kind of have a couple objectives you want to knock out. Um, that's why I'm just trying to get a feel. Like, you can by all means be up to mischief the entire time if you wish to. If that is your goal, the the festival will continue into the night. Uh, there will be, it's not going to be this 24-hour rowdiness at all times. The festival does go basically like many things. It starts and ends with the rising and the setting of the sun. Yeah, of course, there's torchlights, and of course, there's other means of producing light, but still, there's not too much going on. There might be like a temporary stage and theater going on at night, uh, where different performances, some being puppetry, some being dance, some being stories, are being done. But otherwise, most of the activities, the games, the competitions haven't even started yet. But like the games that you would imagine, like either being, like you said, uh, it can range from a whole bunch of like dart throwing or maybe even axe throwing to feats of strength to guessing to catching things. There will be, like you said, those street performers, like there'll be jugglers walking around. So by all means, you could try to steal a ball or an apple or something that they might be juggling. So if you're just
Yeah,
gonna
not to
run,
like steal it permanently. I'd literally just
yeah,
try to give it back.
yeah, like you kind of mess up their act and kind of force them to adapt on the fly and
Yeah.
maybe toss it back. Um, just to see how well you are taken in and how well it's able to be playful, go ahead and give me it's technically a deception check because you are deceiving them that you are still like a performer or part of all this. Or you
Yeah.
can give me a performance check. So it can be a performance check or a deception check, whichever one you want to do. And this will kind of encompass your entire time today until
Ooh.
you guys would have left.
They're the same bonuses for each anyway. 23. I'll make it performance.
Performance 23. Okay. So yeah, there's definitely these. You are that little annoying, like jester-like punk. You know, they don't expect it. Many of these people have their own um, routines, and you know, they've been sponsored or hired or been given the opportunity to do this, and they were never told of anyone interrupting their acts. But with how colorful and how playful and how well your disguise blends in with the whole atmosphere, the way you're able to play it off, um, yeah, it ends up being natural, smooth. You have fun. Uh, you know, you even they you blend in well, and you raise no suspicion to yourself. You're just like this wandering little. I said, well, a foot taller than normal because of the seaming, but you're this wandering agent of mischief and chaos that's playful and fun and appreciated. Nice.
Just for, I would make a point. Once I've talked to Afuma, I would just make a point going around to people who dress like me, trying to discern if they're one of the menagerie, like being like, Ben, Ben, whoever.
Uh,
We should meet back up, um, uh, up somewhere at the edge of the fairgrounds, sometime. But I guess probably around dusk.
uh, one of the people that you run into happens to be Pew Lamb after he's had a word with Rock, and he says, "Oh, okay, all right. Fairgrounds, where outside?
Um,
I'll try to start spreading the word too.
let's see. We're south of the road now, so I guess just go on the south side, and we'll just head all the way around on the south.
It's gonna be a bit of a hike, but
I mean,
I'm sure we
better
can.
than the
Yeah,
hike we
that
didn't have
works.
to make, right? So
No, I get you.
yeah,
I just want to make sure.
yeah. So tell anybody you
We
know. We'll just. Well, I think that we'll meet up in the evening over there.
got you. I'll
I think it'll be easy to spot who's who.
I
Wait,
mean,
is it gonna last this long? Crap. Yeah, till dusk. I think it does, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
I
your
think it
friend's ability.
does. I think it was like 8 hours.
Okay. So we got some time
Yeah, we
still.
got like another
That's good.
three or
That's good.
4 hours. Okay, good, good, good.
All right. I'll start gathering people, and he points over. I'll start telling them to,
Sure, no rush, but yeah, come
uh,
dusk, we'll
like,
regather.
yeah. Well, the tent over there, the one that has the fox embroideries on it. Well, I'll meet over there. Okay.
Sure.
All right. That's just a big drinking tent kind of thing.
Oh, do foxes have something to do with drinking?
No, I just it just has there's a fox, there's
Okay,
flowers, there's bulls. I just see a fox tent. I don't
okay,
know. No.
alright,
Um, so you'll see him kind of go out and for the next hour or so. He'll go and get people so that they know. And you'll see Davis as you're keeping an eye out. Just some people are already ready gathering. They're probably
yeah, just
more
meeting with
eager
their
to just
friends, yeah.
kind of start. Yeah, to get going because they can't like
They can't get
reveal
rid
who
of the
they actually
customer,
are.
they can't get rid of it either.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
One guy keeps trying to pull his mask out. He's like, ah,
It goes right through it.
help. Ah.
Yeah.
Well, but he wouldn't even see it, I don't think, right? Like,
No, if you're aware of your own
inside the
illusion, you
yeah,
can see
exactly.
through it. Yeah, you can see through it. So, right. So, unless there's any objections, your little mischief bunny is doing mischief things. Al is pining over Gothic and
Mhm.
unable to
But,
find her. Hmm?
yeah, I'll stare up at the midday moon one last time, and he'll 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 enjoy the parade stuff. He'll try
No.
and seek out like cultural things if there's like a march or a dance going on, he'll join in for a little bit. I mean, he is his sub goal is trying to find her again, but he's just kind of enjoying the festivities. He keeps wandering off alone.
I gotcha. Um, but eventually, uh, the 30 or so of y'all gather under the fox tent. Um, the sun is still out, but it is obviously starting to go down. Um, the festival grounds, you can see the liveliness is beginning to go down. Many of the cerulean and verdant guards are, still on post, but it's becoming a little bit more lax. You haven't spotted any of the diplomats, both from the cerulean kingdoms or the local council for quite some time. If anyone was trying to keep an eye out on them, they basically went to like behind a um, almost like a curtained off area, a larger area where they have like much more heavily set or proper tents. Obviously, kind of opulent in that way. Um, and Kara, something that you will pick up on just from your fighter background, your enemy and all that. Um, Many of the Cerulean guards that have come, they do appear to be very capable. They are ready. They are escorting people of importance. Um, you know, uh, you might say that some of them are probably like, if you were to like put them in tiers, like elite guards and all like that type of front. Um, but that being said, um, as you guys do gather and you have your 30 or so, uh, Victor will be, okay, I believe that's everyone. Uh, Brad, and someone says like, they're doing like a roll call, almost like a head count. Robin, Jesse, Vivian, and he's like, okay, I believe all of my heralds are accounted for. And then you'll see, Pew and Opal and their disguises. Uh, so we are ready to head around the city, I believe.
I
Do
mean,
we
no.
have a
So
path
there's yeah,
to
no
take?
real rush. So yeah, here let me just quick catch everybody up. I talked to Afuma. I'm assuming some of you probably caught that. Um, Managed to get his attention. Let him know that we are here and that we brought everybody back, and that the stuff that we brought back, where it is. He did confirm that was it Kyle and Gloom, I think,
Kyle and Gloom,
or was it
Kale and Gloom,
Kale and Gloom?
Kale
That's right,
and
Kale and Gloom are definitely his guys. I was a little bit worried that they were maybe anyway. But yeah, those are good people. He said he would try and set something up where if we made it to the west gate, the North Mason, um, the west gate of town, if we were to come in around this time tomorrow, so about 24 hours, about sundown tomorrow, he said that he would arrange it so that we would have no problems. Even showing up, as quote unquote early as we would be showing up. So that's what I have
so
to
the
report.
plan for the evening is we camp in the crops.
I don't know. I mean,
Sounds good to me.
we could
I
do
can
that.
find a nice spot. Wait, do we have tents?
No,
You got
we've
two people
Oh,
that can make buildings.
I mean, we're
yeah.
trying to keep it low key, right?
But with the Temple of the Gods, I can make it look like anything I want.
Well, that is
I,
a
I
neat
can make
trick.
it look like a tent.
I don't
The
think
last
it
one of those you
has.
did took a whole year.
You've got a point.
Well, you will know that it can be
Yeah, I
done
know.
for 24 hours.
He's also done it since then. But could that fit everybody?
I
30
can,
people in 120
yeah,
square feet. I mean,
yeah, I can make it smaller as well. So I could do like a 40-foot tent.
Let me look up the size on this thing.
Yeah, like, he could get the. I mean, you're talking 30-ish people.
Oh, 120
Let's
feet on
say,
each side. Oh shit, yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I
never
was
mind.
It's
I was
huge.
gonna say
I was
120
thinking
Uh,
we
square
were
feet
really
is
gonna
really small.
no.
I was thinking we were really gonna rough it this time. I was gonna go get some nice leaves and some
You're welcome
sticks
to.
and build one. Well,
You know, I'll even join
why
you
would
if
I
you really
do
want.
that? Really?
Well,
Sure.
we're talking out of game for Ben right now. So if you guys want to do
Mhm.
that, you guys just know Ben has that capability.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think, and Al can even do the dome and make it, make it clear and no one will really know that the dome
Well,
was there.
Dome has a lot of limitations.
It does.
Dome
It does.
is like up to 8 creatures or medium size. So,
Hey, as long as the important ones are in there, who cares about everybody else?
I get you. I get you.
Your tent is over there.
Your
Yeah.
tent is the night sky.
Enjoy.
Cielo, did you want to just hang out under the stars?
Um, kinda, yeah.
Sure. I mean, do you want to? If you want to do it by yourself, that's fine. But if you want company, I'm happy to join you.
It doesn't matter to me. I'll be close to wherever we camp out anyways. We're not getting that far, but
Okay.
I think I will.
Sounds good.
So, as evening approaches and the 30 of y'all make your way through some of the um, foot and beast cut paths across the, I would say checkerboard, but it's not a true checkerboard. It's just different types of fields and different types of crops growing. There's this intricate network of these type of little trails that link together and connect all these various fields, and you see that there's dozens and dozens of farmhouses out here. Um, Likely people that are responsible for the fields and their crews probably are set out here and stationed. So you see as you're walking that torchlight from likely being like lanterns being hung on the outside of these buildings, allowing some manner of visibility and maybe some sort of guardship because this is people's livelihoods. So you will see maybe some figures out in the as you're kind of trekking, uh, maybe needing to be just a little bit careful in some ways, not to raise too much suspicion. Under the yes, so as you travel under the nighttime sun, that is correct. Yes.
What's the weather like?
The evening, as it's kind of there's a actually, Seal, go ahead and give me a survival check. It's not nothing crazy. I just want to see just if I
Sure.
can give some sort of detail.
I'm pretty good at survival.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we should technically move the calendar. So what is this? This would be what are we on?
33rd now, I think.
Yeah, we'll be moving on to the 33rd. Last day of Everly. What is after Everly? I
Mentra.
believe
22 total.
22 total. Yeah, Mentra coming up next. So, much of how the day was nice and clear with some clouds and all that, like the light white poofy clouds that just kind of look like cotton up in the sky. It transitioned into a cool kind of evening. Um, it's cooler here, especially because you're kind of out in the open playing fields. There are various different crops, so like some of the more like the wheats, the barleys, the grains, like they do rise up tall, and they do block some of the winds that are coming. But you're surprised to feel what for you like it's a cold like bit of wind coming from the south, mostly east, but maybe a little bit southeast. Um, like to everyone just walking in the evening, it just feels like a cool breeze. To you, it feels oddly cool. Like, why is it so cold? Obviously, it's not like cold where you're like seeing your breath, but it's just colder than you would anticipate. It kind of
Hmm.
makes you question it just a little bit, but I don't know. 22.
From the southeast?
Yeah, so we'll go back to where is it? 'Cause I have to deal with a lot of maps. So if we do this map, nope, not this one. That's that map. If we do, eh. So this kind of gives you, so like you guys are like, I hope you can see this.
Yep.
So you guys are like here, right on the outside. You guys are kind of trying to go all the way around the words Whitlaw to get to here. So you guys are kind of making here. So you're getting like a breeze kind of coming from. Oh, come on, this pen is so weird. Okay, yeah, pen.
Yeah, this whole layer is
Like,
kind of like weirdly laggy. Like even the pings are like.
yeah, I don't, yeah, but like it's coming from this direction. Um, that's about it. So, but yeah, we'll go back onto the Whitlaw page now. Where is it? Right. Unless if you guys want to be on the Vulpine page, I don't know. It's whatever's more comfortable for you guys to kind of plot and plan. But as you guys are moving, traversing, eventually, you will hear at some point you will hear the sounds of some canines as you guys are trekking, obviously very aware of your groups moving through the fields. And by this time, all the seemings have dropped, so everyone is kind of back to their regular appearances.
Does it sound like aggressive or just like?
You can give me an animal handling,
Sure.
which I guess technically it's still the same day, so I
Yep.
think your totem is
Totem's
still good.
still doing work.
Yeah.
14.
14. You have been noticed by guard dogs.
Ah.
Wow.
And does it feel like we're on someone's property? Like were we crossing fence lines and stuff like that?
There's not so much fence lines as you see, like the fields are just spotted
Yeah.
with like, and there might be homes, but they're definitely like home stations. Like these are perhaps where someone or someones are responsible for a field or two or
Yeah.
three, and they have like a worker's home. Kind of, you remember like way, way, way back when in Vulpine, there would have been like the different fields, and there would be like working homes, and people might go and work there for a week or two, and then be cut off shift, and then a new crew would come in. So likely something like that. It's more what you're walking by. And yeah, they probably have some sort of people that are responsible for protecting the fields, making sure people don't damage the fields or steal from the fields. And dogs definitely picked up on unusual movement.
I'll just be like,
You know.
yeah, I don't. I mean, if we want to be, mostly unnoticed, we should probably keep moving.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So, Davis, do you want to lead, or who's kind of wants to take responsibility for trying to navigate through again, we'll just call it the checkerboard or patchwork fields and little winding natural trails till you guys find a place to rest?
Adam, does it
Yeah.
look like anybody else is struggling with traversing the terrain? Like, do I need to cast a light spell for some of the people so they can see what the hell's going on?
Um,
We've got the nighttime sun to guide us.
I
you got
know,
the nighttime.
nighttime sun.
Well,
Hell yeah.
actually, based on sorry, so going on to what Cielo said with his survival check, beyond the wind, it did clear up to be a pretty nice clear sky.
Okay.
So there is. It's not a full moon, but you do see both moons. Obviously, one is much, much closer, the other one's super far away. But you do see the various stars, speckled of constellation. So there is actually enough light, I would say, for anyone that does not have dark vision to just consider it as like dim light for the sake of how bright it actually is tonight. It's kind of nice. And as the wind is this again, for everyone else, it's just a cool wind. CLO, you still get a little bit of more like a shiver. Because it's blowing through all these different crops and these fields and these greens, there is this very pleasant, like natural smell to the air. So, not quite like dried hay, but there might still be hair barrels around, but it's a nice evening's walk, if not a little bit cooler. And the occasional dogs barking at you and all that. But eventually it does come to that point where, rest is probably needed to be taken. But I do want whoever is leading to kind of give me a survival check. Um, just to see how well you're able to kind of get and see how far you're able to go because you're not going to be moving too quickly. Smaller trails, narrower paths, you're
Hey,
not just gonna.
CLO, why don't you
Hmm?
try and find us a place that's maybe a little more secluded, a little more overgrown, not so, certainly not like one of these fields that we're kind of, walking next to right now, right? This has clearly been like tilled and taken care of. It's clearly somebody's, wouldn't want people on it. So see if we can find something for us to where we can set up Ben's place and maybe Alan's
Yeah,
place as well. Would you mind?
that's a good idea. I'm gonna do that.
Cool.
Okay, go ahead and give me
Uh,
that survival check.
can I interject? I thought we were doing it underneath the night sky.
The midnight sun,
Yeah.
whatever.
I
Yeah,
thought that was
that's
just
fine.
CLO and maybe me.
Oh, I took it as we were all doing it
Oh.
because the thing is, I also don't want to cast this and screw up somebody's fields.
Ben is considerate.
You said survival?
Yes. And this is just to see how well you're able to traverse, how far you're able to get in the evening. Because, keep in mind, like, Whitlaw's massive. You guys are
25
on the
total.
outside of, yeah, okay. So you guys are on the outside of Whitlaw, basically doing like this big old U, this big old swooping curvature turn around it. And you have to consider how far away you need to walk from the city proper so the guards don't care and all that. So,
Where you can find
yeah,
a
you
spot
guys,
that's not densely packed with like
yeah,
other places.
yeah.
Find a
So,
nice spot that's secluded behind a bunch of bushes,
yeah,
but the dirt's also flat. Like
I,
pulling up to a
That's good.
campsite, like the one guy that's like stamping his foot, like, yep, it's pretty flat right here.
yeah, I like it. Yeah. So you do the thumper, thump with your pad foot, and
Could be
you seem
flatter.
you seem fairly content. And you do find, um, yeah. So the fields still stretch out, but there are places where less field and there's just some of like more the nature greenery as being like trees, or maybe some orchards are going in, some bushes and all that. So you do find a nice enough area where there is a field house within eyesight. And your reason you're able to see it is because they have like a lantern or two on the outside. Um, but you would not be able to make out anyone out there. They will not be able to make out anyone in the fields. And you find enough of a clearing that still has some cover from some trees, kind of block some of that wind coming in. Um, and with that, yeah, you manage. You feel the entire time as you're walking, kind of navigating, and every once in a while getting your bearings, always keeping the wall of Whitlaw to your right hand side as you're traveling south and kind of to the west. Uh, you do manage to get fairly far down and you find a fairly good flat camping space. Um, a lot of the people, if not everyone that you're traveling with, is accustomed to this. They're used, maybe not this terrain of navigation, but they're accustomed to camping out. They're accustomed to either sleeping in a tent or making do with whatever natural shelter they can. So maybe surprisingly to the rest of you, to everyone here, but the heralds, they just start to kind of look around and start to find viable resources. Some gather some wood, some gather, there might be some old fencing that has been forgotten about or not really utilized, and they manage to scrape it together, kind of put in a lean up against trees out here, and they shelters get put up, um, protecting people from well, there aren't many harsh elements tonight, but protecting people from the elements. And then fairly quickly and fairly surprisingly over maybe the distance of about a mile section, the 30 of y'all find places to sleep and hunker down for the night.
Nice.
But y'all are fairly spread out.
Ben will make a point to be near Al.
Okay. So I'll just kind of line you guys like this. So Ben,
Right.
Al. Okay.
And whenever
Pebble will mark where you guys are. There you
and Ben will do this awkwardly, like not in a hushed tone, just like his normal voice.
go.
Al, you make baby?
What? No. What?
You
He,
you talk to other is
Oh,
tiefling.
yeah, tiefling. Yeah. Uh, no,
You talk?
just talk one time.
Why no talk more, make baby?
Uh, slow, step at a time. Uh,
And then
long,
what this
long
is what's gonna
process.
happen, Al. Ben is gonna go into a tirade of everything that he observed other people in their mating rituals and it give you advice. The most awkward, ridiculous advice you've ever heard in your entire life. Like, saw a man smack butt, do that. And then give flour and say something ear, she smack you. And like this, like, everything he noticed that throughout the entire little festival, he's just giving you all this brain dumping, all this advice on you.
I love it. Okay, that's
At
perfect.
at first, Al was like sweating bullets with the first couple comments, but then when Ben starts throwing out all these things, Al gets kind of he's like he picked up. He's really observant. I'm just kind of leaning in, hand on my chin, like just listening, like not not absorbing the information to reuse, but just impressed at like, hey, you know, it's all that. Good flowers, flower bed.
Of course, he has no idea what any of that means. None of it. So it's all like melon, like one tone the entire time,
Yeah.
like an old school teacher. It basically, I'm thinking Charlie Brown. Wah 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 wah.
In his
I
head,
love
he's
it.
like, I've done the research.
I was trying to keep up through all the Ben isms.
Ben notices you don't understand him. He'll try a different way to explain it, but
He'll do
it's
the
like
most triple
worse than
slapping
talking
hands.
to Yoda because
Oh
at
no.
least Yoda you can put the words in a sentence, rearrange them. There's words missing, articles missing, mispronunciation of word. I mean, it's crazy.
Love it.
So who pulled whose earlobe? Is that was good or bad? What? Why is that? Why would that be a thing? What?
No pull or bite, but got slap.
Got slap. Okay.
Slap good.
Uh, depends.
When you say that, Ben's face is like, what?
Slap face, bad. Slap butt, good. If well, depends. That depends too. Hmm. Complicated. Long
So
and
be
complicated.
careful when you're gonna start talking birds and bees to Ben.
I will like always take 2 steps into down a path and like pull himself back. Like, wait, no, we can't. I can't explain all that tonight.
So that will be my evening with Alf until we decide to go to sleep. He's tired of hearing me and he rolls over and goes to sleep or whatever.
I was blinking on
All
Rock
right.
trying to keep up. Just like, okay, okay, uh-huh.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Fantastic.
Because in Ben's mind, Al's a good tiefling. He's a good person. He's a good bard. He's a good
Hmm.
adventurer that needs to be reproduced.
Yeah, needs to be propagated and move forward. Nope, I get you.
You had me as like, he's a good person, and then the Gith part came out. I was like, ah, okay, I follow
Hmm.
now.
You have valuable genes, is what he's telling you.
Hmm. You'll be good for the war. Your
Yeah.
offspring as well.
Yeah. So, huh, interesting. Um, anyone else have anything that they wish to do in this evening as Ben tries to school Al on the ways of the Riz?
He just stares at me, riskless. What? What? That hurts. You can't say that to me.
Does that mean something else in
Hey.
Celestial?
Is
All right. So, under the pale light of the uh midnight sun. Jeez, that's so weird to say.
hell yeah.
Uh,
I will say that to multiple people throughout the night. Like, the moon is beautiful, is it not?
Sorry, can I do a little
absolutely.
something?
Yeah, that's why I'm waiting. Yeah, hit me up.
I was eating mango. I apologize. It was worth it
Yeah.
though.
Good
No,
choice.
Mango's
Cielo managed to get a plate of spiced mango from the
I would
fairgrounds before leaving.
freaking crush
Fucking
that
Yeah,
right now.
delicious.
he
That sounds so
got
good.
a plate.
But yeah, he got a plate. I'm not saying how, he got a plate.
It's been acquired.
That's been acquired.
Plate get.
Spiced mango is so good. But anyways, we're getting distracted.
Yes, we
Um
Davis, I forgot about the funnel cake.
Oh
Too
fuck!
bad.
We gotta go back.
We gotta go back. Come on, Cielo. We're on a mission.
I think my little makeshift tent is not that far separated from the tent guised as a temple, I guess as it were. But I would visibly in distance, but I would shoot off just a little bit under the moon if it's visible, and kind of just like find a nice spot like a log or like somewhere to like lay and just like look up at the moon. But I would take out my pan flute and start playing a little bit of music, but it's
Yeah.
also the Fey pan flute that attracts critters.
Yeah, I figured that's what I was gonna ask you. Okay, so yeah, go ahead and give me a. Let me. I have to look at your character. You are proficient in pan flute, right? I believe you are.
Also, were you sneaking off, or were you just walking off?
Nope, no sneaking. I'd
Oh.
even like I'd know people would get concerned if I just kind of disappeared, and I'm good at that. So I was thinking about this. I would have taken a stick and like scratched a line from like my door of my tent to wherever I went.
Nice.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't be that far. You'd probably hear me anyway. But
Yeah, I'm just
I
trying to
don't
see.
see a proficiency for this pan flute.
Yeah, I'm trying to
It's
remember.
under tools, flute.
No, you do. It's flute. Yeah, you have flute. Yeah, yeah. Phalos
Oh, I
flute.
do
Yeah,
have flute.
yeah,
I
yeah,
do.
yeah. So, yeah, go ahead and give me a perf. I would be, yeah, it'd be a performance check, but you can either do performance or you can do proficiency plus dexterity to play your flute. It's up to you. Perform, yeah, charisma performance or dexterity proficiency pan flute check.
I think I'm just gonna keep it to performance, even though I'm pretty sure that's a worse roll.
That's fine. Yeah, whatever.
I'm gonna go with performance because Dex
Okay.
is fuck it. Performance.
All right, performance. Go for it.
Oh my god. Sorry, more mango. 19 total.
19 total. Okay.
Nice.
So, and it is just essentially it's that magical flute that attracts smaller critters. So you might have some field mice and some crickets and other types of toads, little frogs. So as you kind of wander off, find yourself a little um a tree that was at one point likely, you know, either it has succumbed to some sort of rot and has fallen over, and the fields have kind of grown around it so that they've never actually come here to like get rid of the stump. So you find a nice little flat kind of stump area, put your back against it, kind of look up at the night sky, and you can see all these stars linking together, making different images and pictures in your mind, and just kind of find peace, kind of smacking your lips a little bit from that sweet, sweet, spicy mango, and begin to kind of play your fey flute. And does this well, what type of tone are you playing? Like what you're the music guy? How does it
Um,
sound?
so I'm playing like looking up at the moon, so I'm kind of
Mhm.
like giving the moon its own concert. So it would be like um like a sonata.
A sonata? Okay.
Moonlight
Like a
Sonata.
wispy sonata, or
It's
what are you
like
thinking?
what's the word I'm looking for? Sorry, I'm like barely grabbing onto it at the tip of my tongue.
Good.
Nostalgic, like
Okay.
Ooh.
like something
Like longing.
like a good memory, but you're sad it's already gone.
Okay. So a wispy like so a sonata that has some sort of remembrance kind of associated to it with you. Maybe a little somber because it's like you said you're sad that it's already gone, but it's still
Mm-hmm.
lovely. A lament, maybe, is what Davis was thinking.
Not so sad that it would be a lament because that
Okay,
would be like tragedy, but like
I got you. Nope, we're good. We're good.
yeah.
I kind of get the feel. So as you're giving the moon, the actual moon, not the midday moon, whatever that, whoever thought of that is just insane. Um, then they need to go see a apothecary and get some sort of
They need to go
salves made.
see Al the Love Doctor.
Yeah,
New band names, don't steal. They're all
yeah.
band names.
It's just a story of a bad name.
Love Doctor. All of us are.
Yes. Um, but yeah, so as you begin to play, maybe not even thinking about the properties of the flute, the pan flute, giving the moon the concert, you see one of the stars in the night sky just kind of streak across, kind of disappearing. And as you get comfortable and kind of play, are you playing yourself to sleep? Or are you
Oh
actually
no.
no? Okay,
I'm just playing for
mhm,
a while, but I like
okay,
in my head I'm thinking like with the chirping of like grasshoppers and
hmm,
nights like insects and stuff like you
yeah,
mentioned.
mhm,
Uh those have like a natural song, but they would
yeah,
like there would be like some sections of call and response with the sound of like
yeah. I take it.
nature too.
All of my and perception. Can I get perception checks from everybody that would be awake at this point, which I think is everybody still?
It wouldn't be too late.
Yeah,
Unless you're drunk.
try to get watch that.
Hey, can somebody roll for me? I'm having an issue with a kid that almost burnt down the house.
Oh,
Mm.
well, just stick that in
11, I
the
didn't roll.
oven. Turn it on. You rolled for him. Okay. All right. So, Karos, if you want to do a perception check, if someone wants to do a perception check for Ben,
I can
I
do it.
rolled an 11
oh, for Rock or for
total.
you? For Rock.
Total.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Yeah, Rock's just kind of distracted and in his own thoughts, probably not only just um, seeing the sadness on some of the lizard folk once again on their faces, um, maybe even reflecting over some of the encounters and notes and interactions that you guys saw within the recent temples. A lot of questions rushing through Rock's mind of like, who is the Hendecolite? Am I the Hendecolite? What's my affiliation with this? Um, so Rock, you're distracted. But yeah, eerily on the night sky within the breezes and winds, Karos, Al, Davis, and I roll for Ben, I guess. D20.
Sorry, his bonus is +10.
Plus 10, 18. So Ben wouldn't. So yeah. So yeah, the three of you hear that tone, and it just kind of carries and gets kind of the lost along amongst the fields and the wind. Karos, though, because you rolled so high, um, you see, you kind of get up and kind of like you listen to it and you like it. And you kind of get up, just kind of naturally kind of walking and stretching. And making sure not to bring attention to yourself, but you see like a cloud of fireflies just off to the distance, kind of swaying and kind of moving, and you realize that they're kind of the cloud is kind of, for lack of a better term, dancing and undulating to the tone of the music, and you know exactly where Cielo is located, and you can kind of see that there is some sort of pull and attraction. Maybe you don't understand that it's a magical pan flute, but he definitely, in his little, not quite lament, but kind of uh, tones and music that he's playing, definitely got attention from the wildlife around him, making it so that the three of you have a very, very good night's rest. So with that, Karos, any dice that you may have locked away from your baleful, they are unlocked. You don't even have to roll for them if you still have any.
Nice. I think I've
Um,
got a couple.
okay, and then the three of you, if you have an item that you set, so like Davis, your totem, Karos, your Nirvana die. I don't know, Al, if you have anything. You can roll twice to pick whatever result you want today or the next day.
Nice.
So, but yeah, Cielo, if you're still here, once you do kind of a few times, you kind of break with your losing yourself, and you do realize you got all manner of critters, from little field mice kind of gathered up, bunching up together for some warmth, kind of watching you play, the clouds of fireflies dancing and kind of swaying to the music. You have in one or two of the trees that they may have like a hollowed out area, you have these big glowing round yellow eyes peering and hooting as an owl has become, attentive to your play. Nature definitely listens and is definitely appreciating the concert. And yeah, you also get to benefit from what I said. Like if you have anything that you set as far as um, an item, you may not, but if you do, you can take whichever result you wish. If you can do it twice.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, anything else from anybody else before you guys?
Well, I got a real good
Just-
listen to that because I was probably only about 100 yards away or so.
Sure.
Because I saw him leave and I followed him. That's why. I was, that's
Oh.
why. That's why I was asking if he snuck off because I was gonna. But I will say. So basically, the whole thing was Davis noticed that he was leaving and wanted to kind of go catch up, but he's yellow. He can traverse terrain way faster than I can, and
Yeah.
he's shifty, and I would have maybe lost his trail a little bit. So he made up a lot of ground. But then it's obviously as soon as he starts playing, then I kind of like, oh, okay, I'll go follow him. And then I realized like, oh no, he's just this
You
isn't just a small
respectfully give him
thing.
his
Yeah,
space.
exactly. And I was like, I said I wanted to spend the night under the stars. I'll do that. And so like
Okay.
maybe it's like an alfalfa field or something, and I'm just kind of chilling in the,
Sure.
nearby.
So that puts a spin on it. So Davis, go ahead and roll me a. It would be a charisma check.
Proficiency, no proficiency.
Yeah, we'll say you can use your proficiency. I don't know. It's not persuasion. It's not perform. It just.
Yeah, just raw charisma, baby.
Yeah, raw charisma. Yeah.
Oh, pretty good with proficiency. That would be 26.
26. Damn. Okay. Nice. So as you give the space and respect, you do definitely know exactly where Cielo is, but you manage to kind of find a cozy spot under the alfalfa, kind of lean back, lay back, and you also would have seen that shooting star. You don't know that Cielo saw it, but Cielo saw it. You see it, and as it streaks across, you kind of see in your mind's eye where the star streaks. It kind of crosses a few other stars, and your mind, for whatever reason, sees them and kind of draws a line linking them together, and it streaks right across a constellation, and you have this brief flash in your mind, not like a not a not like a spooky moment, but like, oh, I've seen that before, and it's just one of the constellations that you've seen way back when in your past, when you were on your journey many months ago to try to understand the glaive and the messages that were being sent to, and it's a harvest constellation. And in as you allow yourself to fall asleep and fade in the morning, when you wake up and you kind of come to in consciousness to birds chirping, uh, and everything, there will be a female fox with 3 cubs sleeping, but 10 feet away from you, peacefully, happily asleep.
That's pretty lovely.
Yeah.
I will, as quietly as I can, get up, leave them be, yeah, and just try and return to the group. But that
Yep.
definitely leaves an impression. That's all.
Yep. So, that will happen in the morning, obviously. Cielo, you can do as you wish. Does anyone have anything of importance for the evening, or does everyone just pass out? All right. So, assuming that James is AFK because a
I'm
child
still
of
back.
birth.
I'm back.
Okay, you're back. Okay, cool.
House intact?
So you still have a home? You still have a
Yes,
garage?
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool,
Listen, I
He
cool,
know
was
it's
cool.
trying to
cold
cook a grill.
outside, but
He tried to cook a grilled cheese, but he put the stove on high.
ooh, don't need that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. That's okay. Well, now they know. Medium is pretty much all you ever need on a stove
Just about.
for anything.
Maybe medium high.
All right. Yeah,
Don't
but
put
like,
ice in the fryer. Don't do it.
Oh God.
yeah, no, yeah, don't do that. All right, so the next day ticks over, so it is now the 33rd. No, it is
Yep,
now
33rd.
the 33rd of Everly. Uh, Let me, just so that I don't lose this, while you guys are doing item re-rolls and sets and everything, I trust you guys. You guys know what you guys are doing. Go ahead and do all your item things, please. And I'm gonna just get the calendar set up for
Yep.
next. Choose a side. I want
So our aid drops off, obviously.
yes.
Right.
That's schema. What the heck? That should be Mentra. Did I put them in the wrong order? Maybe I skipped over it.
Yeah, it should be Mentra for sure.
And
I mean, it even says it on this on this page.
yeah,
up
there you
top.
go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I just.
Oh, yeah,
It's
you can
just
even see
weird.
the days line up too.
Yeah. It like when I have to choose a side because these are.
One
Oh
Nirvana.
damn.
Let's go.
I'm assuming he takes the one.
I think we'll take the one.
Yeah.
I,
Now
I
you want
just
as
think,
much
yeah.
disadvantage as possible.
Now I just have to find a crappy color.
Well, 1, you need to get poisoned. 2, you need to gouge. You need to stab yourself in the eye. 3, you just need to give yourself all the kinds of disadvantage you can give yourself. Give me those ones all day.
Just
Insane.
wearing an eye patch for no reason.
Yeah.
So what's Rock's?
Hey, I could hit you with haste and get disadvantage that way, right? Get fatigued.
Lethargy.
Nah.
I got the worst
Unfortunately,
part
not like
ever.
What, like 10, 10, and 9 or something?
I rolled
Yeah.
11, 12, 12, 14.
Oh yeah.
So 11, 12, 14, and
Okay.
11,
8
12,
tonight.
14. Oh yeah. Please, for the sake of it, because we're gonna have to discuss coming sessions. Do track your stuff in y'all's menagerie channel.
I try to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But we have a sticky post that I try
That's
to keep.
perfect. Whatever you guys need to do there. Okay. So totem is wisdom. So the twisted totem is on wisdom.
Yep.
Nirvana die is on 1. So yeah, this is like a godly day for Carbos. Um, very middle of the ground.
What's the engine?
Portents. Oh yes, you can set your
Or,
engine.
sorry, engine was 8. I don't know why.
8
Okay.
is subtle spell.
That as well. All right. So Rock can make miracles happen without anyone know. Oh jeez, that's scary. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
yeah. You don't know that he's casting. That's scary.
2 more days till Ben can cast Divine Intervention.
Yeah, 2 more days till Divine Intervention. Yeah. Is there anything else that needs to be said? I don't remember with all your items at this point think y'all are probably good.
So the only stuff
If
that I
you need
haven't
a
tracked is my totem, my command styles, the Nirvana die, the portent, and the engine.
Yeah, because I mean, you guys don't use the Wand of the Occult anymore. Y'all don't have the ladle anymore. Yeah, so if an item comes up, I'm assuming it's pretty safe to assume that anything that has charges is probably fully charged. Like the Horn of Silent Alarm would probably be fully charged. I mean, technically the corpse mask would have recharged at dusk, so that thing's good to
For
go.
you.
Yeah,
What was
yeah,
that, Ben?
My necklace.
Oh yeah, your prayer beads and everything. All those unique beads are good to go. All right, cool. All right, so on the next day, I need to find. Do I have some good music to go with this? It's nice and quiet. Let's see. I have like some farm music, some field music, mill, river, slum. We don't need jungle.
Rumble in the jungle.
What about Welcome to the Jungle?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
gonna
this isn't.
die!
This isn't necessarily. That's Middle Earth theme. That's good enough for now. Adjust the volume on your ends as needed. I just got it in the middle.
No,
So.
Adam.
Mhm.
This festival is a week long, right?
Oh, you're not sure actually.
Okay.
It may be longer. No one actually was able to kind of discern that. You would surmise that on the short end, it's at least a week. Yeah. But Ben, if you want to try to think about it, I don't know if Ben knows where the Cerulean Kingdoms are.
No.
Yeah,
And Ben wouldn't have been interested in how long the festival is. He would have been
got
interested
it.
in the maiden rituals other than gift.
Gotcha. All right, so yeah. Yeah. As far as you guys know, you do not know how long this diplomatic mission and festival is going on for. So, all right. So as the 30 or so members of the Heralds of Exploration, Hugh Lamb's crew, and the Crass Menagerie wake up, I am actually going to lower the music just a smidge on my end. I didn't realize it was going to get that loud. Greeting the day as the sun rose, just mostly because of just how active the fields get this early. Um, Managing to avoid detection from those that work the fields or maybe patrolling the areas. You all rise and, I guess, continue your ventures to the east, trying to go to the other side of Whitlaw. Looking out beyond the fields, you do see that much of the spill of the city. So this would be what were probably meant to be like temporary buildings, but eventually just became permanent. More, Whitlaw itself is so overcrowded, especially in like the lower districts, the most most notably like the southern portion known as the Hearth district, like Hearthstone, or Hearth, like a hearth where you make fire. Like the Hearth district is so overcrowded and so packed with people that much of it now is actually beginning to spill out beyond the walls. And this can be okay, mostly because there hasn't been major conflict in these lands for over 260 some years. There's been some squabbles and some fighting, but the city has kind of expanded beyond its fortifications. Though much of that portion of the city is, you know, not much, not much to write home about. To be fair, it's though you do see, um, as you do approach and encroach, you have traveled through this portion, coming from the Mason up to the South Gate, where you guys first were exposed to how strict the check-in policies were put into place by the sovereign of exchanges, um, and but you do see, and there's bars, saloons, brothels, housing. There's butcheries, tanneries, all manner of establishments. as well as just makeshift housing or simple housings. It is essentially just an extension of what is inside the walls out here. Uh, are you guys interested in stopping by, mingling, or just trying to continue your path and just trying to get as to the other gates?
I would
There.
ask
Yes.
Pew and crew and be like, how wide of a berth do you think we need to give? Like, I mean, we want to be pretty much seeming as if we're coming from the west, right? So, like, if like, one guard patrol up on the wall or some roaming patrol around the outside says, oh yeah, no, we saw them just, looping around town. Like, do we need to be a couple miles out or anything, you think? Because we could make that. We got all day.
Uh, really? I would say wider berth better because I don't want to have any you know, guards ride out to try to meet us, question us.
Yeah, okay.
They might. That I think the only thing going for us right now is we are not heading in the direction of the diplomats. So maybe less eyes on this
Yeah,
side of town.
that makes sense.
But I would say if we are out of eyesight, definitely out of earshot, lay low, move steady. Yeah, the sooner we can get to the North Mason North Mason byway strip up there, just make it look like we're natural. The only thing that I'm a little concerned about is we don't have any carts or wagon.
Yeah, should we try and maybe barter for something on the way?
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some.
Problem is, we'll have nothing to put in them. I mean, they don't have to necessarily know that. I don't know. It sounds like Ofuma. So the way he put it, it sounded like we would get through mostly unbothered. But I mean, if you're coming in with carts, I mean, the last time I came in here, they made a pretty thorough inventory. So I don't know.
Wow,
But that was with
maybe
Scoot's crew and not, that's which they had a whole different arrangement.
Scoot.
Oh, does he even have a last name? Kind of out of character now. Does Scoot have a last name?
Ultra Blue.
Oh, Ultra. Yeah,
Oh.
Scoot. He's a long timer from Carver. He runs a. He does
Okay.
all the kind of everything that comes and goes out of there. He's
Okay. Yeah. Name I didn't recognize. That's why I was like, should I know this person? No, you're good.
yeah. If
I
you're not
mean,
around that area, if you're not dealing with that area, then you probably wouldn't have heard of him.
I don't think I've ever been to Carver.
It's on the come up.
Never had a reason. Good to hear. Uh, if you talk to Afuma, maybe he's already got something planned. So, did he say anything about how far out we needed to be, or?
No, I mean we didn't have a whole lot of time to converse because as far as he or his handlers knew, I was just some random fair person. So I
Gotcha.
kept it brief, but just let him know everything's okay. And then he said just come in the western gate at sunset, and I believe the word he used was unquestioned. The way that the papers will come in with unquestioned.
Well, then we're gonna have to. I would expect somebody's gonna give us papers. I think the sooner we can get on that side of town and just wait for someone leaving to cross our paths and hand us what we need.
Okay.
That's probably what the plan is. Ofuma may be, I don't know, may seem pretty, uptight. I don't know, old timey. But the man knows how to
Yeah,
get things done.
frankly, I get he's kind of a chameleon. It's like he's formal when he needs to be formal, but when he needs to kind of be slick and underhanded, he can do that too.
There's a reason he's, the head.
Yeah.
Well, I keep saying headmaster. Technically, he hates it when we call him that because it's not his title. Uh, that's the reason why he's the the master put in charge of the unveilers up here.
All right. Yeah, sounds good.
Though,
So you know everything I know then. So
all right.
sure. So
Well,
should we try it? I mean, because we're about to, we're pretty close to the south gate now. Should we try and get carts here, or should we basically head further west
no,
out on the west
that
side?
that
Okay,
will be way too noticeable. I think we avoid as many people as we can.
gotcha.
I think we just, I mean, we have most of the day to get on the other side. We can take it slow and lazy, and we can get where we need to be. I just want to get on that. I just want to get on the Mason by before sundown,
Yeah.
so that
We should be rolling in
when
around sundown, he said. So yeah.
well, when someone that is looking for us sees us, they'll be able to help us.
Okay. Which is funny
Uh,
because I'm not used to having people look for us. Usually people don't even know where we're coming from. So that's weird.
well,
I mean, I guess you guys have, your heralds and unveilers stuff that you can. I don't think I did. I mean, I saw some markings on stuff, but you guys don't really have like flags and banners that you run on your carts and stuff, do you?
that would be opposite to the point of what we
Yeah.
do.
So how are they gonna know who it is?
They'll probably recognize a face or two.
Okay. Oh yeah, 14 kind of stands out, doesn't she? Although
I mean,
she tends to
amongst
kind of
my
she kind of hangs out in the back and tries to be unseen.
well, when you are in her line of business,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, makes sense.
So very well. All right. Let's. He'll just kind of get everyone kind of gathered as you guys are getting ready to continue moving. All right. So it looks like the boss will have a way for us to get in. As mentioned yesterday, we got to get over to the west gate. Not quite to the gates. We're gonna go real wide, real slow. Let's not bring attention to ourselves. Just enjoy the beautiful sun, the clear skies. Try to ignore the biting insects, and let's just get over on the other side of town before sundown.
Fighting
And
insects.
I mean, we're in a field, right? All
I'm
kinds
gonna
of things
quickly
make you
check
go
myself
itch.
for any bites.
Go ahead. Go ahead and give me a nature check or medicine check, your choice.
I remember Sailor and I got real fucked up on bites one time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking. That didn't happen that long ago.
That was literally, I think, 3 days ago or 4 days ago.
I mean, yeah, everything in the last couple of months of us playing has been like just
Yeah, a
less
week.
than a week of game time. Yeah,
23 total.
Oh, nice.
23. No exaggerated bites. You happen to get like a couple ants that are climbing up your boot, but you manage to flick them off or slap them away. Nothing. You're not gonna run into any of those terrifying jungle bites, stings, or anything like that. Just
I
field
won't keep
insects.
up about them. I'll just keep swatting.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right. So, um, short of anything that you guys wish to interject or do, uh, you guys travel west, making a wide berth. You do cross the Mason at one point, as you know, it is the Mason coming in through towards the south gate, but you know, wide enough of a berth where there's no wagons or travelers going in either direction. Continue heading further and begin to hook your way north, where while on the map it doesn't necessarily show, there are still fields and other uh, how do I want to say, like maybe orchards and other types of um, produce being grown. Though at one point there is a distinct lack of fields and you start to see an area where the land is cleared and flat. There are um, various roped off sections. There are wooden columns that pepper the ground, like pylons reaching high into the sky with various banners and flags on them. The ground here is worn down to the dirt. Um, there's old footprints and hoof prints. Uh, Karos, based on your background, this is an extension of like the training grounds and training fields for the various members of the Verdant Cause. The south western side of the metropolis of Whitlaw um, is known as, well, mostly the western side is known as the Thorn District, and the Thorn District is responsible or known for being the largest military base of the Verdant Cause. It's associated with military and law. Um, so this is just a large extension of where they have training grounds and stuff. But you guys are able to continue to traverse and move. And as the day continues, um, it's hot, but it's not unbearably hot. You guys start to poke your way up, and you do start to see the paths begin to clear and make way for the larger road of the Mason Fair Byway North that is heading east to west, or leaving, I should say, Whitlaw, heading west. Uh, Made pretty good time, just for the sake that you had a path to take, and it was easy enough to take. And you guys get to, I would say you guys get about 7 or so miles away from the gate, and just begin to approach the North Mason. Uh, that being said, based on your pace, the sun is still up, but it is towards the latter half of the afternoon. So within an hour or so, the sun should start heading down. What would you guys like to do?
I will have definitely told everyone that we would like to get a cart before we head in. However, we want to do that.
How would you, Victor would say, well, how would we do that?
Well, it's not exactly. I mean, I imagine there's pretty regular traffic coming and going from there, right? We we can talk a good game with some folks. We can be convincing.
All right. I mean, if it is for the charade, then very well.
Yeah.
I mean, we can perhaps have a few of us go to maybe a farmstead or two,
Oh,
see
sure.
if they have any.
Yeah. Do you guys have coin to cover the cost?
Uh,
I mean, Ofuma
would
will probably cover it, right?
fair, but not quite. We pretty much we're not living off of coin while
That makes
on
sense.
excursion. So no.
I mean, I've got some. Guys, anybody throw a couple of silvers or maybe a few gold into a pot for these guys to kind of split up and take? I mean, carts aren't that expensive, right? So
A gold coin for a already used and worn
yeah.
cart would probably make a someone's season, to be frank.
Would it be more suspicious to have an empty cart for 30 people than if we were just traveling with our belongings on our back. Maybe we should just buy some sacks and bags and such to. Well, I guess we don't have any extra clothes or anything to toss in there either. I guess yeah. I guess what I'm trying to say is, what's the least? And I know that we'll have folks sort of covering for us, but what would be the most or the least like suspicious way to walk in, right? I suppose everybody
We can
can
always
huddle around the
make a
but
cart
yeah.
look fuller than it is, and the way that it sounds is, I mean, I know if you'll remember when we first came in that they picked it over pretty clean. Sounds like that might not be an issue this time.
Mhm.
I mean, and plus, and I'll point to like Al and Rock and be like, these guys can make things look like all sorts of stuff, right? So, you know, of course, it doesn't necessarily hold up if they get touchy-feely around it, but like I said, I don't think they're going to, but I don't know if we want to play that card.
I think Carlos would check with Ben, or maybe try to remember based on previous, because Ben has repeatedly offered and created food and drink for folks. Is it just like a cooked meal, or could it be a basket of vegetables or something like that? Like the same amount of food, but does it? I don't actually know the spell
More
either,
volume.
but yeah, that it would just be here's some simple here's some simple bread that would travel well and like root vegetables so that it at least looks like we didn't just get here. Oh, thank goodness we got here in time because we're
We had
completely out
nothing.
of food.
Yeah, so if you're asking as Kyle for like the create food and water spell, um, it does specifically say the food is bland but nourishing. So like it could be like some sort of cakes or crackers or breads or something, or
Mm-hmm.
you could argue that, there are such things as bland vegetables. There are such things as bland. So like if you guys can be creative and convincing, then sure. A few castings of that spell creates a lot of food. A lot of
We
food.
just have to have containers.
Yeah. So maybe yeah, like you said, we could see if we can procure a cart, maybe a couple of empty crates or barrels, and then we could just
Sure.
fill it with some. I mean, heck, we could even just buy some food from people on the outskirts. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, we've got the cash to spare.
Cool. So I kind of like this idea. I like where the
Alternatively,
brands are.
maybe
Yep,
we
okay.
buy. So maybe we catch someone who's on their way in. Al goes and talks to him, says, "Hey, give me your cart. I swear I'll give it back," and we will. But we'll be like, let us take it into town for you. You know, so it'll have goods in it, and we'll pay them for their services.
Mm.
Possible.
If we can find someone with good enough goods. I don't know if we'd want to bring in a cart with just corn or something. Else maybe we would. I don't know.
Ben will pipe in. Why no cart, just people like carriage?
Come again, Ben?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Make
He's what?
carriage. People travel by carriage. Have wagon or cart and people city back. Transport people from one place other.
That's if they got money.
But we people
We've got
o-
some tie
out
rate
of the game,
pulling
he's trying to say,
vehicles.
why don't we just put people in the back and make it act like we're transporting people from one location to another? We put people in the back of the carriage in place of food instead of transporting food, which we're transporting
Yeah, I
people.
don't know if that's what. See, it kind of depends on what Ofuma has set up for us. If he's having us come in as a wholly different group, or just us being us showing up early. So I
Yeah,
don't know
because the
what they're
thing
expecting.
is As far as the Crash Menagerie, they know who we are. So if the Crash Menagerie walks in, we don't need a disguise. We're a venturing party, right?
Right.
They're the ones that really need the disguise, not us.
I mean, listen, well, some of us will head back the way we came. There's a few uh farmsteads. We'll see if they have any uh sacks that they're willing to get rid of or anything like that. I'll see if there's anyone that has a cart that they're willing to part with for a gold or so. Especially if it's one that's worn down. Uh, we're just gonna need some time. I mean, it's not even, sun's not even really going down just yet, so it looks like we got some time.
Yeah, he just said by. Let me see. Did he say by sunset? He said at sunset. So I think. Actually, do you know when the shift changes on the gates are? Would it be around sunset or would it be? Because it sounds like
I'm,
whatever group is going to be there at sunset's going to be the one that's going to be.
I'm, if I know the master, he's probably gonna have some people on the wall that we can trust, and they'll just make sure the paperwork lines up saying that we arrive early.
Got it.
I mean, there's no reason that I can think of that we wouldn't want to say that the excursion and expedition made it home safely. I mean, it's a great thing. We've got 20 plus
Mhm.
capable, knowledgeable, and respectable people coming home to continue their
Yeah.
work for the
And these
betterment
guys,
of.
they don't know how long we've been on the road or when we were coming home. Like they don't know. So, like,
No, I mean,
us showing up's not going to be weird to them as long as we just act the part. Then all's good.
it
Don't be
works out
nervous.
that, so we can have multiple parts in play. I think what is important is everyone is back, or at least we have key people looking out, or faces that can be recognized on this road, so that whoever Ofuma is sending can work their magic.
Yep. Well, being conspicuous is something that the menagerie does pretty well. So,
Oh.
Sometimes you don't even know I'm here.
well, that's the opposite. I was saying we're pretty good at being noticed. You
Oh,
are
oh, oh.
obviously, yeah.
Well, yeah, you're right.
You're the exception for
Oh.
sure.
So with that, um, some of the heralds will take some coin off of y'all and go mingle with some of the farm hands. Uh, how much coin are you giving? How many groups of people?
I'm broke, so I'm offering other people to pay.
I understand.
I don't have change.
I mean, I have a
some
couple
cash,
platinum.
let me-
That's about it.
So let's put it this way: like a brand new cart is roughly 10 to 15 gold, right? So a few gold pieces will likely get you a cart that's been, used a lot, seen some wear and tear,
But fully functional.
but functional. Yeah.
I'll throw 3 gold.
All right.
I mean, I'll throw in a platinum because I've got a couple. But
let me throw my stuff up because I don't think it's about the amount, but if you start throwing a platinum piece around, I think
oh,
people
fair enough.
are gonna remember.
Yeah.
So I've got 60 silver on me. I'll just go. I'll
That's
give
fine.
them all 60.
That works. So we
'Cause
got
then
3
they can
gold,
pay
60
with.
silver. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. 3 gold, 60 silver. All right.
I
You'll
mean,
see.
they'll bring the change back, right?
not
Was,
skint, I don't think.
I wanted to give silver, but I had no silver. Can I give you 3 gold, Karos?
Well, not anymore. I gave it all to him.
Well, I was gonna claim half the silver.
Here, I've got 4
Oh.
gold. I'll put in my 4 gold pieces.
Alright, so we're up to. Al, are you putting 3 gold as well?
Yes.
So 10 gold, 60 silver.
Yeah, don't overpay.
Alright. Yeah, they split it up like 3 gold,
Yeah,
and
makes sense.
they had 3 groups go out. 3 gold, 20
This is
silver
the
each.
it's still 10 silver to a gold, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm not
Yes.
misremembering.
Yeah.
If there was a platinum involved, we wouldn't have seen that one again. They were just disappeared.
Boy, these were really expensive vegetables.
Gold
Alright.
carrots, he said.
So, yeah, so you'll see like groups of 5 or so venture off. 2 of them heading back in the direction that you all went, and 1 is heading up across the Mason to the other. They see a farmstead about a mile off, maybe less. Are any of y'all joining any of the groups, or just trusting them to
Nah, man, in the
work their
meantime,
magic?
I'm gonna ask if Al wouldn't mind trying to basically haggle the people heading into town for the gimmick that I said.
I can give it a shot, but the plans are all over the place. I know wagon. Wagon's a piece of cake. Oh, you mean where you borrow one, get it
Yeah,
in
we just say, hey, you know
ahead of
what? For reasons you don't need to care about, we need to bring in a cart into town. If you wouldn't mind us taking yours, and then we can return it to you as soon as we get inside the walls. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Maybe I'm missing something. So this is Adam asking Danny,
Yeah.
sorry, get the cart into town with the people,
No,
or
no, no, no. They would just be walking in on by themselves.
ah,
They would go in without their cart, or if they have like 2 carts or 3 carts, then we would just take one of them,
okay, I get what you're
and then
saying.
we would meet them,
Okay,
meet back up with them inside, or deliver it to wherever they want.
okay, okay. That's what I was just trying to understand. Like, what's the logic there? Okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah. So with that in mind,
So
we'll
maybe
we
lateral.
Carlos will chime in. Maybe it's just my only concern there is if depending on the person and their personal experiences traveling might
Think
Hey,
we're
give me your
robbing
hinder
them?
cart.
if we're very casually trying to rob.
Well, we would pay them up front.
Grand Theft Whitlaw.
Yeah.
Grand Theft
All
Wagon.
right. Grand Theft Wagon. Okay, so with that, okay, I kind of get it. So we have 1 group going up, 2 groups going back. They're trying to just get a cart, some bags, some barrels, something, so that y'all can use essentially 1 way of getting in. The rest of y'all are kind of spread along the Mason Fair, waiting for either someone to recognize you or for a large enough group of wagons or caravan coming into town and trying to negotiate a way to either join them or do a job for them, essentially.
Basically.
Okay. So with that, because it's gonna take a little bit of mental gymnastics on my end to think.
Wouldn't happen any
Let's
other way.
yes. Let's go ahead and take a break now. I know it's a little early, but it's 10:20. So let's be back at 10:40 at the latest. 35 ideally, but 40 because I know people have pets and stuff. And hopefully by then I'll have everything in place and we'll be able to continue forward.